The world's greatest shuffleboard players have come this week to downtown Reno for Table Shuffleboard's premier event, the 2015 North American Shuffleboard Championships. Our program is made possible by Budweiser, the Shuffleboard Federation, the Sands Regency Hotel and Casino, Champion Shuffleboard, Grant and Betty Watson, and Heirloom Shuffleboards. And now, let's go to the action. 2015 North American Shuffleboard Championships. Once again, we're back at the Sands Regency Hotel Casino in downtown Reno, Nevada, and we're ready to get things going. Joining me once again, John McDermott. John, you know, this is the match we saw yesterday. We get to see it again. Two guys that, one guy's won it, one guy hasn't.
Yeah, and Billy Melton was in control of that match a couple of different times and let it get away. I'm not surprised he got back to the finals. I think he was probably playing with a lot of fire in that last match last night, and I know he's looking forward to redeeming yesterday's performance.
John, I talked to Billy before we went on the air, and we were joking back and forth, and he said, you know, I've won tournaments across the country. This is one I've not won. I asked him, what time did you get to bed last night? He said, well, it was after midnight, so he had a late night.
Yeah, by shuffleboard standards, that's not terribly late.
But he said he was out of the casino. He said one thing he changed this year, and he said you talked to him about it. Hey, you want to win this thing, maybe stay out of the casino a little less than you were the years before.
Yeah, absolutely. It's hard to split your attention in too many different directions. And the guys who have won the most here are guys that never visit the casino.
So they got a jump on us. They're getting started right away. We will take it to, let's call it the play-by-play. John, David, it's up to you.
Yep, here we go. Looks like Roger's got the first hammer, and looks like he's thinking about passing the first weight. And he is.
That's a good shot.
Yes, indeed. I'm a little surprised because he's a fairly conservative player that he's going to pass right out of the gate.
Remember, guys, yesterday this was one of the fastest tables.
Yeah, and I think that's going to fall off the side. Yeah. A little surprised he shot that freehand.
I would want.
That's kind of touchy, yeah.
I'd have went from the rail or a thumb, but he's got that freehand pretty well mastered. It's another great cover by Roger.
Yeah, I'm guessing that Billy's going to have to try and bump that red one into it at this point in time.
Off just a little bit.
Well, boy, now he's in trouble. That weight's pretty well covered. It'll just take a short weight here probably to cut off the board. Not sure if that's just a mistake by Billy, that first weight, or whether he was tempting Roger to pass it, but in either case, he's got himself in quite a bit of trouble here.
Yeah, he's gonna have to probably try to block all three up, or he's gonna go for that combination.
Yeah, I'm guessing he probably is going to try and take away some board here. I don't know if he can afford to go for that combination. If he goes for that combination and somehow chips that red out, it could be. Okay. Definitely not the start he wanted.
No, I don't think he expected Roger to go around that first weight. Especially just starting out the game. Yep,
of course it's always never a bad play to pass a weight unexpectedly once in a while, just to let your opponent know that that could happen.
Roger just legged off. Good attempt.
Yep, but being down 4-0, not the start he was looking for.
Absolutely not.
You know, I was talking to Billy, as I mentioned before the match today, and jokingly, but with a little serious, and he said, you know, I taught that kid to play a lot, and he said he played well yesterday.
Yep, absolutely. Remember once being in a somewhat similar situation, smaller tournament, but playing against the guy that was my mentor, and I was playing good enough, playing better than him actually at that point in time, but then thought I should have beat him, but he somehow beat me, and he just patted me on the back and said, "Kid, just remember I taught you everything you know, not everything I know."
Exactly.
Press that. We need to turn on the volume.
Yeah.
Roger tried to introduce him and threw it too hard.
Was that an offer him too, and he threw it off the board?
Yes.
Aaron Gutierrez and Tammy Gallagher, you need to go to board 26.
Long game to go.
Billy's doing what any experienced player would do, would be to check out the shot that he missed the frame before and trying to get a feel for how he might have shot it.
Checking that breakout on that rail, yep.
Well, as you guys both know, there's a pretty good amount of money between first and second. First going to get $7,410 and second $3,650. So that's a pretty good spread.
Indeed, indeed. I must say, even though Roger's in the what we call the catbird seat, he looks a little more, does not look as relaxed as Billy.
Billy's really looking forward to this. I talked to him last night, and he's wanting this pretty bad.
Yeah, he wants it bad. Him and I have talked quite a bit over the last couple of weeks, and I know that he practiced hard and was prepared and had to be, I didn't talk to him last night, but I know he had to be extremely disappointed in losing control of the match against Roger last night. So,
yeah, he's looking for a little bit of a revenge today.
Yeah, and I can say from having been on both sides of this this equation here that when somebody beats you in the winner's bracket, there's nothing that you want more than to survive long enough to play that person again in the loser's bracket and try and even things up. So,
because Billy, one of the very first things he said, in the comment coming to our broadcast area, said, "I've not won this. I've won tournaments all across the country, but it's on his mind about winning and going 2 matches today."
no question.
Every pro that plays this game wants to win this tournament more than anything. It's the most prestigious tournament out there, and we all want it.
Yeah, and for the people like Billy who have won all the other majors and haven't won here, it's kind of like an incomplete on the resume.
Well, we were talking about prize money, and we'd like to thank Budweiser and Bud Light. Morey Distributing here in this area. John Morey, the owner of Morey Distributing, has been great to sports and all events, and it's great that he put $5,000 in the prize money pot this year. So thanks again to Budweiser and Bud Light.
Yeah, terrific. We greatly appreciate their support and hope it's the beginning of a longer relationship. We certainly have sold plenty of Bud and Bud Light here this week.
I tell you, when you get to meet John, the other John, when you get to meet John Morey, you'll like him a lot if you haven't met him. He's a really genuine person.
I have never met anybody from Morey Distributing and would love to meet anybody from the organization, especially Mr. Morey.
I can do. John and I have been friends for 30 years, and so next time you come to town, you want to meet John Morey, we'll make that happen.
Okay. Well, I'm available the rest of the week.
All right. Before you get back to Michigan, we'll try to get that done.
Awesome leg.
Big lag by Billy at a pretty important time of the match, even though it's early.
Looks like he tied it up. 4.
Tied it up. And after seeing very, very few fours yesterday, we've got one apiece already in this match.
Rob, can you please come to the table, please?
And having recovered from that bad start, I would expect Billy to be pretty conservative here.
Yeah, I think he's going to go weight for weight.
And of course, not only would this be kind of a stamp on Billy's career resume, he would certainly also be the only person to have a father and a son both win the tournament.
That would be awesome.
Yep, that would. I'm not sure who the next person to have that opportunity would be. 'Cause seniors never won it, so.
Senior would have to win it. It'd be and senior and junior would both have to win it.
Yep. So if he's able to pull this off, that is a distinction that might stand for quite some time.
Well, we heard yesterday that TJ and his wife, who just got married in June, are expecting a baby, so maybe we're talking 20 years down the road.
Could be, but TJ has also said that he's going to be taking a long break from shuffleboard after the arrival of the child, so.
Rogers just made a great leg. Nice deuce.
Yeah, these frames are moving right along.
We love that. And it's interesting because the boards are playing a little slower than they normally do this week, but the games are moving much faster. And regardless of how the players feel about liking faster boards, the evidence is clearly that when the boards are a hair slower, the games move. So,
you know, John, I was going to ask you about that because it seems that these two have adjusted to this board very quickly. Remember yesterday, 11 and 12 were the quicker boards in the floor.
Yeah, you pretty much expect anybody at this level to make very fast adjustments on playing conditions for sure. And this is kind of cool. This is the first time that we've had all four of these singles events finals going on at the same time. This is obviously our feature match, but for the people that are watching, they may see some perimeter action on the other three divisions, which are on board 7, 8, and 9. If Roger's going to want to stick this, that's in a pretty good spot to block up some of Billy's lag.
I think that's the third weight.
Yeah, that's the third weight. Yep, and because that was in a spot that kind of covered up where Billy just lagged, he hit that and did not stick it. See if Roger tries to go back in there with a block or maybe even a deuce.
That's like a pretty solid deuce.
No, it's a one.
That's a one?
It's a one. But he blocked it right in the middle of the board.
I was watching that shiny spot to try to see. I couldn't quite see it.
Still maybe a little bit of a mistake. I don't know that you want to let Billy lag against ones. Most of the time you want to make guy
I don't
against
think
the
he
clear
threw
board.
it hard enough.
No, he didn't. Well, it turned out to be a good shot by Roger. Whoops. You had an accidental miss ring on the score there, so they're resetting it to the proper score, which is 9-6.
The other matches are going. That's
Yep, over on board 9, we have the Division 1 singles finals. That's Roland Valverde from San Antonio and Donnie Baxter from Oregon. I believe it's Grants Pass or Rogue River, actually, I do believe.
on board 8, that's Carl Kelm from Exeter, California, but I don't know the other guy.
Oh, that's James Feebrink, another San Antonio player. We got San Antonio well represented in the other finals divisions, or other division finals.
Roger offered him 2, and
This is
he decided to
pretty
go for the
big
leg.
looks a little firm.
It is. He's not in a good position now.
No, I thought that maybe he might be able to take advantage of that, even being down 3, a chance if he makes a big lag to tighten up the score and have also switched the hammer. But he's now back to the end he had been lagging, which of course puts Roger back on the end that he seems to be pretty dialed into.
And usually when Roger gets the lead, he just pounds them weights and tears up them boards a little bit, so it's a little bit harder to leg.
Now, Billy's either going to get back in this game or going to be in a lot of trouble.
I think it's going to be the latter.
He's in trouble now.
Might be a little tough to cover that weight, but it's certainly going to be tough to stick.
I expect him to go for the leg.
I think this is only the 3rd weight. But, yeah, absolutely. I would expect him to try and outlag this versus sticking it if it was the hammer. Yeah, that's a great shot right there. Roger's just going to hammer it off the board. I don't expect him to stick it or even attempt to.
He's going to go with a left-hand thumb shot.
Right hand. Yeah.
I mean, right hand, sorry.
They're probably just going to fire it pretty firm. Yeah, those weights aren't very deep, but they're certainly right there in your line of vision. You're really not much fun lagging against 3 weights in the middle of the board like those are. This is a pretty crucial shot for Billy. Well, looks like
Great leg.
a solid deuce there. On board 7, we have Bobby Leach from New Jersey playing against Bob Belleville from Portland, Oregon.
That was a 3.
Yeah, that was a great lag for the 3, making it a 1-point game.
I thought it was a 2. Well, right back in the game. Not sure he wanted to do that, though. Roger's going to play short and protect his hammer, most likely. Or maybe he's going to check out a lag.
One thing about this game, if you can leg, you can get back into any game.
Yep, absolutely.
And Billy is a great legger.
I think he might try and stick this and see if Roger wants to pass it, do a little gambling. I think he did want to stick that based on the speed. He just didn't get it done.
Yeah, it looked like it.
And even though he's got himself back in the game, he's still got to feel like he's at a pretty fair disadvantage. You got to expect Roger to lag a 2 or a 3 here, the way he's got the speed dialed in from that other end.
Well, right now both guys have 2 outs to get out. It's the first one to 15.
Yep, absolutely. Oh, there's a big mistake. That's almost in the same place that he missed a weight last night, only he shot it down the right rail. It allowed Roger to lag the 4 to take control of the game. Well, he pretty much has to stick this weight.
Well, it's open freehand or down the rail. But if I was going to stick it for him, I think he'd be shooting a freehand.
Well, that's a terrific shot.
Great shot.
Absolutely terrific. It's blocked up a lot of Roger's freehand.
Comes up short.
Well, that's huge for Billy. Absolutely huge.
I want to remind you, Champion Shuffleboard is the world's largest shuffleboard manufacturer. Wants you to play shuffleboard because it's fun. The full line of Champion Shuffleboard tables are available at shuffleboardtables.com.
With Roger only lagging a 1 there, that puts him at 11. Billy, by lagging a 3, puts himself in a position to get out and win the game.
Yeah, essentially, they're both still 2 outs, so Billy has the advantage right now, even though he's down 11-9. I'd rather be up 11-9 though.
I'd still rather be up 11-9, but yeah, in a position where it's going to take both of them 2 lags to get out. If Billy does manage to lag a 3 here, then he takes control of the game.
It's interesting to hear the two of you talk about Billy has the advantage being down. It's the only sport I can think of when you're down in the score that you're not in a good position or a better position to win.
Well, he's got the first opportunity. It takes two lags for both of them to go out. He'll have 2 lags before Roger does, so he's still got to make them, but it does give him an opportunity. And he's up short there. He also lagged a 1.
So that puts Roger back in full control. As far as the two legs to go out.
Roger, all I'm worried about right now is getting on 12. 13 would be great.
Yeah, any score out of Roger here puts him in really solid control. He's got to just focus on getting on 12. Conversely, I'm sure that Billy's trying to figure out a way to steal a point or a hammer to get himself in a little better position here. Billy would love to see Roger try and take a gamble shot here, but I don't see any possibility of that happening.
I think he's trying to. Roger's been legging over that corner, so I think he should have been trying to get a feel to block it. Let's see what he does here.
Yep. This is a super tough decision.
If he puts one up there, he gives him a free chance for that free leg, for that 3.
Yeah. So if he thought he could throw a 2 over there, a small 2, that would be the best shot. Really one of the best shots in shuffleboard if you could execute it, and that looks like what he's trying to do. He didn't want to either right in the corner up against the rail or off the board.
Roger's going to go for deep 1 shallow deuce here, I think. He doesn't want
as
to.
Billy Mays used to call it, a scared deuce.
You don't want to throw it off here. Oh, he got in.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much expecting Roger to just pound the weights at this point in time.
Yeah, he doesn't want to stick anything or put anything up there for Billy to go around. That'd be a major mistake. And Roger's got a great power game.
Yeah, absolutely. As good as anybody in shuffleboard.
Roger was a protege of Mike Taylor, and so was Eddie V.
Well, I imagine Billy's going to try and find a way to get around this weight. There's really a chance to get back in the game or maybe even go out if he can make a great shot here.
I think that's the hammer.
Oh, that's, sorry, my bad there. Yeah, he absolutely had to have a 2 there.
Well, most of the people watching know these two, but in case you don't, Roger Holloway is from Houston, Texas, and Billy Don Melton II is from Davis, Oklahoma.
Well, imagine at this score, if Roger does stick a weight, Billy's probably going to pass it.
I think he has no choice to. He's got to break his hammer somehow or steal some points. I expect if Roger keeps pounding the weight, he's going to put up a deuce, shallow deuce, try to get a shallow deuce in there and break his hammer. It only takes one mistake in at this caliber, and you can lose the game.
Oh, and he almost made it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's see if Billy tries to go back to that corner. No, I'm guessing he's going to try and put a 3 or 4 right in the middle of the table.
Oh, that's not a bad shot, though. Roger most likely will just take a 1, but he still has a chance to get in the game. It's Roger's hammer coming up, correct?
Correct. Yep, not a bad shot by Billy. The only thing he did not want to do under any circumstances is leave a 1 on the board, because that gives Roger 2 chances to get out. Meaning that if he lags off against the 1, he's still got the hammer and a chance to lag a 2 going back the other way.
Looks like he came up short.
Yep. Pretty predictable there. He was not going to get crazy. And he's in firm control of the game now with that score.
Well, the 2015 North American Shuffleboard Championships are played on Ultra Glide T4 Speed Powder. Stock your game room with the Player's Choice Shuffleboard Federation Ultra Glide Speed Powder. You can find it at shuffleboardtables.com.
Well, David and I just saw a little sign there. Billy put 4 fingers down, like maybe he's thinking he's going to make 4 points here.
He's going for a leg for 4. If he does that, he thinks he's got a good feel.
Well, a 4 at any point in time is a spectacular shot. If it was a called 4 in advance, that would be Babe Ruth-like.
That's
I
right.
was thinking the same thing, Babe pointing to right field.
That'd be awesome if he did it, to call it and then shoot it.
Oh, boy.
Little nerve setting in.
Well, oftentimes you're putting up a weight when you're behind, hoping the opponent will stick the weight and give you a chance to go around it. But as hard as Roger shoots, if he makes any contact, the weight's probably going off. You get a better chance of a miss than you do. Oh my gosh. I was going to say you got a better chance of a miss than hitting it and sticking it by mistake, and there's the miss.
Well, he don't need to leg that 4 now. All he needs is 3.
Yeah, and he's got the first hammer in the next game. This would be a huge momentum shift if he goes out. And the spot that he had some success lagging is wide open for him.
It's looking good. It's
That's
looking
definitely
good.
not short.
He did it. He did it.
Wow.
He did put up 4. Whether he got the
What
4
a-
with
and
way
a-
he wanted
and a-
or not.
And a fist bump from a guy who very rarely shows that kind of emotion.
Ouch.
That just shows you
That's
how
all.
much this means to him. That was a great shot.
And I think most importantly, as you guys commented about, he called it. I mean, when you can call it.
Yeah, he was pretty sure he was going to make 4 there somehow. I'm not sure. He's got a big grin on his face, but no time to celebrate now because I know with Roger having let that game slip away, he's going to be double tough. He's going to have a lot of fire. He does not want this to go to a second match.
Correct. I think after Billy pumping that 3 relieves a lot of pressure off of him, and he's going to be playing with more confidence. I look forward to this to being a great match, of course, but I think that I think the advantage if it went to a double dip, I think the advantage would go to Billy.
Well, Grant and Betty Watson invite you to Eagles Lodge in Exeter, California for the annual 4th of July Shuffleboard Tournament. Or please just drop by when you're passing through. They've got 4 great shuffleboard tables, food and drinks. Go Monarchs.
Kaitan and I are doing the G-rated version. We'll get you on the other version.
We on the air right now?
Yeah. Meanwhile, Donnie Baxter won the first game there in the Division I finals. Couple of close games in the other 2 divisions.
And as agreed upon before, they're going to switch colors now for this game.
It's not an agreed upon before necessarily. It's what happens is the person that won the flip in the first game deferred the hammer to the second. That gives the other person the choice of color in this game, and not unusual to see them force the opponent to switch colors in that situation, if for no other particular reason than just to change things up a little bit.
Sometimes it's the psychology.
I can tell you I've probably played against Bill Melton 30 or 40 times in singles events, and that's pretty much standard. If he loses that game, you might as well just go grab the other color. That's and know that that's coming. So no surprise that Billy did it also.
Billy's coming out aggressive. Nice deep deuce.
Tucked in there pretty good, too. Not a terribly difficult shot for Roger, but under the circumstances.
That's a great shot.
Yep.
Hanging off the edge. Billy's got to get that over there.
Yeah, and the last time he shot a left cross, he missed the weight, so I'm sure that's in his mind a little bit. It's hard not to be.
Same as last time it dumped off that rail.
Yep. That's why you got to question maybe that you didn't need to be aggressive in the first frame, having just shifted the momentum with that big frame to go out and having the first hammer. You darn sure wanted to make sure you score something. He still may, but he's also got the chance now to give up a really big frame to start the game, which is obviously not the way you wanted to go about this. I don't think there's any room for that free hand at this point in time.
Yeah, it's a thumb shot down the rail, it looks like.
And Billy's got all the shots, but I don't think that this is among his favorites necessarily. Well, Roger's giving him a little more room there, but still a seriously tough shot, although I'm not sure. Is that left hand open? I don't know that it is, but it looks like he's looking.
You know, the way it falls over there, it might be.
That was my thought. You wouldn't expect it to be open, but the fact that he missed both of them, fell off the side, means it probably falls over there a little more than we might think.
Get over there just a little bit soft, about leg and speed, maybe just a hair harder. He's looking at it.
Even if he does make this shot, he's going to be down 2-0, but if he misses it, he'll be down 5-0. So he might be able to hit it that way, but I think sticking it is pretty much out of the question.
That's a great shot.
But not enough speed. Ooh.
Bomber.
Well, and another big frame at the beginning of the game for Roger.
I think that's in the 2 days of televising, the only 6 that we have seen. We've seen a couple 4s, but no 6s till now.
Yeah, and you certainly didn't expect to see it there either.
Well, he thought he could hit it. At that point, you might have been safer just to cut off 2 and just give up the.
Yeah, tough decision. You hate to just give somebody that many points, but that probably would have been the more prudent play.
It's definitely easier playing it sitting here than it is up there.
Indeed, and oh my God, we got another miss down the left rail.
And you know, David, the opinions here aren't as crucial as down there.
Absolutely. Oh, he offered him to. Didn't get around it.
Obviously a big lag here for Billy.
He legged a deuce. Well, Billy's going to probably put some up there. Hopefully Roger sticks it, go around, get back in the game here. He can't play it. He can't play it straight here.
He pretty much committed himself to an aggressive strategy with that first frame.
Yeah.
Can't really back off it down 4 points.
Good place to put it in the middle board. Hope he sticks it. He's got both hands open to go around it. Roger with his power game right now has got a little bit noise and control, but
yeah, now having missed 3 weights left-handed, all of them down the rail.
I'm expecting him to go to his thumb shot here pretty quick.
Well, not really tucked in very well, but Roger's obviously having some issues with the left hand now, and as you predicted, I imagine he's probably going to try and stick this weight, though, which means he'll be shooting quite a bit less speed. Well, not much less speed, but well, Here's a chance. You don't expect to get many misses out of Roger, and Billy certainly needs to capitalize on this.
Do it a
That's
little
a little
harder.
better speed. Yep, a little better speed. See if it curls in there.
Got a 3 there, still wide open. I'm expecting to shoot that left-hand thumb shot. Looks like he stuck
Looks like
it.
he stuck it. Yep.
Great stick.
Yep, it is a little touchy over there, but it is an opportunity for Billy if he makes a great shot to slide it in behind that red weight and maybe steal himself a couple of points. Well, stuck it dead, and if Roger sticks it back, it's going to be 2 more for him.
He's all
Don't
over
know
it.
that it,
He didn't stick, though. Well, creeping away one at a time.
it's a tough way to make a comeback, but
1 point
That's
here and
it.
there, break a hammer once, back in it.
yeah, 6-3 is certainly a much better score than 8-2 would have been had he stuck it.
One reminder, heirloom shuffleboard tables are the finest shuffleboard tables in the market. 100% handcrafted by a third-generation carpenter. Absolutely no details are overlooked. Quality as timeless as the game itself. Browse our virtual showroom at shuffleboardtables.com.
Well, he's backed off on the speed quite a bit going down that left rail.
I think that Billy's going to probably hope that he only legs a 1 here and stays in the game.
Yeah, and with Roger shooting easier at these weights right now because the blast shot has let him down a little bit, wouldn't be surprised if Billy went in behind it if Roger does happen to stick one. Well, it looked like Billy wasn't sure if he was going to throw that off on purpose and just let Roger lag, but I can tell by his reaction, looked like he was trying to get a 2 or something up there to make him shoot at it. We'll see. I don't remember the last time Roger had the hammer from this end. We'll see how he is. He's got the speed figured out or not. No,
Come
he
up
laid
short.
himself a 1. Perfect outcome for Billy.
Yeah, that's what the best he was hoping for, could hope for. Looks like Roger's going to try to put one back over in that corner.
Yeah, until Billy shows him he can, he's got some kind of control over that shot. I expect Roger to test him out on whenever the opportunity arises.
Looks like a shallow deuce.
All right, he's all over at that time. You'd certainly expect Billy to have made that adjustment already. Missing a shot twice is unusual at the pro level, so we'll see if he does in fact have that shot figured out now. I'm sure Roger will test him on it at some point in time before this game is over.
I was curious there if Billy would go for the aggressive shot, and he played it safe. He's only really 1 leg down to get back in the game.
Yeah, and Billy's going to check out that spot himself. But throwing it short enough that if Roger sticks it, he's not in any danger of not outlagging it.
It's a big leg coming up here.
Biggest shot of the game so far for Billy. Yeah, looks a little short.
Yep. Not what he wanted. He's got to be thinking somehow of busting his hammer or stealing some points here.
Yeah, I would certainly expect if Roger happens to stick a weight, Billy's going to go around it at this point in time.
No, I think he's going
There
around
it is.
it.
And I'm not sure if Roger stuck that on purpose or he's just dialed back on the speed because he's had some issues with that left rail.
I think he stuck it on purpose. Just to tempt him. Looks a little hot.
That's way hard. I would not be surprised if Roger actually hit his own weight and cleared the board here.
Well, if he did, that means he didn't mean to stick that way.
Yep, that's exactly what that would mean. But in fact, it looks like he's going to try and go in there himself. Might be a little overly aggressive play for him at that score. I imagine Billy's going to have to try and pass them both now or make the double. I don't think that weight's stickable.
Looks like he's going for the combo.
Of course, as we know, covering a weight perfectly is one of the toughest shots in shuffleboard.
Absolutely the hardest shot.
Yeah, looks like he might have left Billy a little window. Not sure if that'll come in enough for him to stick it, but
He's got it floated. Went for the combo.
oh,
Got
nice
it.
shot. Big
Act-
shot by Billy.
Great shot. Wow.
That's a huge mistake.
Huge. He went for the kill there. He tried to get that 3.
Yeah, he needed to score there. So, I mean, you can't get overly conservative and just take your ones, but at that point in time with Billy having made that combo.
If he takes a 1 there, he's got a 2-hammer control basically. Right now it's just he legs it with a 3. He's caught
See
up.
if Billy plays this conservative. Yep.
Yeah, he's just planning to play for the leg, I think, unless he gets some deep weight to go around.
Well, this segment is brought to you by a donation from Steve Fisher from Winston-Salem, Oregon. Thanks, Steve.
And if you're ever up in that part of the Northwest, Steve's got a couple of taverns there in Winston area, and he'll certainly be happy to give anybody in the world a game on either one of them.
Great place to be, great place to play. They treat you like gold. I've played there for years.
I haven't been there since the early 90s, so I guess I owe myself a trip. What Billy's thinking is he wants to make sure that middle of the board's open, his preferred lagging lane.
Yeah, Billy's predominantly a freehand legger.
And prefers the straight up the center. Always pushed that one a little more out to the rail, hoping to pick up a little speed off
Got
of the.
a chance to get in there.
Yep.
Got a deep deuce.
And as we discussed yesterday, this the game kind of moves mentally in threes. So getting himself on 6. He's thinking if he makes 3 big lags in a row, he can win the game.
Well, he's got back in the game right now. It's anybody's game.
He'll certainly be looking to get on 9 on his next hammer. Yeah, after a 6-0 start, this is a terrific comeback thus far. Of course, it's only a comeback if you manage to close it out.
Yes. Well, when I first started playing the game, I was always told you want to get to 1, 3, 6, 9, 12, and 15 first. But the great Billy Mays always told me, he says, you want the odd numbers. You want 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, and 13.
Well, Billy has some different theories. I have to say I disagree with him on that one, but he was probably a little bit better at manufacturing those other points, whereas I'm more of just a lagger, so.
Well, we're entering the second half of the game. Where there's really three games within the game.
Indeed.
And when I say that I mean I'm talking like 1 through 8, and then from 8 to 12, and then 12 to 15.
Well, that's a pretty important shot for Roger here. He's has not shown yet that he's got the speed figured out on this end. He certainly needs to score himself something and stop the bleeding a little bit.
I expect him to back off a little bit on this leg, but looks like
No
he went
backing
for
off
it.
there. Oh,
No
made himself a
backing
great
off.
shot.
Yes, he did.
Stretches the lead back out to 4. Billy's thinking hasn't changed at all. He's thinking about getting on 9. Roger threw that weight off on purpose. He's given Billy no opportunity whatsoever here. As long as they trade hammers, Roger's got to feel like he's going to win the game.
Well, the way the score is right now, it's be critical on if Billy could leg a 3 here. It'd be real important. But he's got to score something. One won't cut it.
Roger still is not completely comfortable with blasting down that side of the board, because ordinarily he hits those weights pretty much right in the center.
Yeah, Rogers, that's his game, was a power game.
Yep, and when he's kind of hitting the weight on the side a little bit, yeah, that's right in the throat like that is the way he normally hits it. He didn't want to or expect to stick that one. Now we'll see. This Billy has really struggled over on that left cross. We'll see if he can put a shot in here.
That rail's
Oh, that looks real good.
going to dump.
Oh. Well, I would guess if he gets another shot at it, he's probably going to shoot a wide span, left-hand wide span at it.
It's an important
It
shot.
shows you how much confidence he has in his free hand. A lot of players would opt to lag the cross at this point in time rather than shoot through one of those holes.
It's not what he wanted, but he had to stay in the game.
Yep, at that point in time, lagging off against 2 would have pretty much ended his chances. So we've got to try and find a way to be aggressive somehow, which of course requires a little cooperation from the opponent in the way of sticking a weight or missing a weight.
Well, that's
Well,
exactly
there we
what
go.
Billy needed.
Opportunity presents itself. We'll see how it plays out. I guess he's going to go to the left side of that weight. That's where it seemed to break in a little harder. almost bumping it.
I expect Roger to go for the combo here.
Yeah, absolutely. He's going to try and clear the board.
I don't think he'll want to try to go around it and give Billy another opportunity.
Pretty sure Billy would love for him to try and go around it.
No, absolutely.
He might not like the result, but it would present an opportunity of some kind. Yep, that's a perfect shot.
Smart shot.
And I would guess with Billy's last weight, he's going to have to put a 2 or 3 down there and hope Roger doesn't stick it and he can steal the hammer.
Well, it looks like he put that weight there to try. Hopefully he sticks it for his last weight to go around. Oh, he missed it completely. Nerves are taking over.
Yeah, this is really, really surprising. A guy that almost never, ever misses a weight that's missed that many. And that wasn't particularly close.
No.
Pretty good looking shot.
Yeah, it's a great shot.
Yeah, it's wide open for a stick, but
With a little bit of
when
nerves.
once you start missing a little weights, they start looking a little smaller when you're shooting at them.
He got it. Well,
Okay, but he didn't stick it.
Billy's chipping away. He's getting back into the game. Billy's just hoping right now that if Roger ends up with a clear board, that he only legs a 1.
Yeah, but you can tell Roger's kind of talking to himself a little bit right now, trying to figure out what's going on there. Sometimes, though, the guys that shoot real hard, if you get any kind of a little hitch in your stroke, the timing is so important when you're shooting at that speed. Well, I'm guessing Billy's going to try and go in there.
It'd be a tough shot. If he does, it'd be a
Yeah,
spectacular
super
shot.
tough shot, but his aggressiveness got him in trouble in the first frame, and
He's
pretty
playing
hard
it
to
safe.
back up. No, he's going to play him straight up. He's going to try and roll it over to that other side. Expect this just to be a short weight.
Oh, he's checking
Yeah.
out his hammer. Might be tempting to go around it.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be too tempting to Billy
I
on
don't
that
think
spot
so.
on the board.
He's
I
going
think
for
he
the
does want to
stick.
stick it, though. Yep, and now just protecting his hammer.
Billy didn't want to stick it there and give Roger a wide open 3, so I think that was a
No,
great
but
shot.
he's pretty much praying that he only lags a 1 here. A 2 would put him in a world of hurt.
Roger, I think, is going to shoot for a deep 1, shallow deuce. Hopefully gets that float. He definitely wants to get a 1 to keep a hammer control, 1 hammer control.
Oh, lagged himself a deuce. Big shot.
Puts him back in a commanding lead here. I think we'll see Billy trying to play aggressive from here on out.
Meanwhile, in Division I finals, they're wiping off the board and getting ready to go to Game 3 in that match. I'm not sure about Division II if that's going to Game 3 or Game 2. Only Game 2. Much more deliberate pace on board 8 than the other 3.
Roger definitely didn't want to stick there.
No, and he did take a little extra time. He normally shoots pretty fast, but he's had some issues with that spot. He took a little extra time and made sure that he hit it.
Well, Billy's trying to force him to shoot that left hand, but I don't expect Roger to do it.
No, not as good as his span shot down the rails is. But by the same token, that's until Roger shows him that he's got that shot left-handed. I'm sure that if Billy needs to steal a hammer, that's where he's going to try and do it.
You can see in Roger's mannerism, now that he's legged that deuce, he's kind of like calmed down a little bit.
Oh, and that might only
Force
Yep,
him
only-
to, force
only
him
a
to shoot.
one.
Yeah, force him to shoot at that deuce.
Yeah, kind of a mistake on Billy's part. He needed that weight to be a 3. Had he thrown a 3 down there, Roger probably would have just hit and gone with it. But by throwing a medium deuce, put himself in a position to have to shoot at it and have to slide if he wanted to keep it at 2.
Well, Billy's definitely going to want Roger to stick a weight here because he needs to start playing aggressive because he's down now. Down 2 legs. Roger can go out with his next hammer.
If Roger does hit and go with the next 2 weights, and I'm thinking Billy's going to challenge him over on that left cross,
Yes.
where, of course, Billy's had his issues of his own, but that's the only spot on the board that I think neither one of them has stuck a weight so far. And he didn't stick that. And he need.
Oh, he did. That's half on, half off. That's going to be
Well,
a tough
that's
shot.
and that's a mental mistake. To have that dry spot there. I'm surprised that one or both players has not been waxing that area. Problem with it is there's no way to bump that. All you can really do is put 2 aces on the board and hope that Roger backlags him. Or you can try and cover it and make him lag against, not give him an opportunity to stick. I would guess if this weight comes up short of that one that's already there, that Roger's going to try and hit it and slide. You know, that really didn't. That pretty ineffective weight there.
I think he's going to go for the leg.
Yeah, it's as shallow as that was. He really needed it to be about the same depth as that other one to force Roger into thinking about something else. That didn't take away any of Roger's lagging lane or really put any pressure on him, and he comes back with a deuce. Well, it kind of comes down to Billy needs that 6 back that he gave up early in the frame, in the game rather.
He needs Roger to make a mistake here so he can capitalize on it. Roger's going to throw that first weight off. Don't give him an opportunity. And when you're on 14, you should throw it off. I see a lot of players leave a weight on the board and end up costing them a game.
Yeah, and again, I'm really surprised that neither one of them has waxed that big dry spot down the left side of the board from this end, or right hand on the other end. Consider that to be kind of a mental mistake, because that can definitely hang a weight up somewhere like it just did for Billy.
Both the right and the left both need a little bit of powder on the rail. They're both dry.
And who knows, that last frame when Billy threw that left cross on his 3rd weight, maybe he had some wax on that and a little smoother track, he might have gotten into the 3 that he needed to put up there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is pretty much you have to put a 3 up there and hope for a miss in the 3rd weight. Yeah, that's not a very good shot. All right, so at this point in time, you're thinking you get a lag of 3, steal a hammer, lag of 3 coming back.
Yep. You notice when Roger shoots, he's shooting down the rail most of the time. A lot of players would have shot cross-handed stick that way.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the strength of Rogers' game. Well, that one's got a chance.
Deuce, like
It's
a
a
deuce.
2. Yeah, he really needed the 3 there.
Well, Billy's got to either steal or break his hammer here.
Yep, and here we are. It's coming down to he needs a mistake out of Roger. He's gotten several this game, but really hasn't taken advantage of any of them.
There's one. Oh, I thought he missed it.
That's really a little shallower than what he needed. Even if Roger should stick this weight, there really isn't an opportunity to put a deep weight in there without it being wide open.
Well, Roger's doing what he's supposed to do. He's just banging weights and hoping for the leg.
Well, if he doesn't stick this, then I would expect Billy to either try and put a 3 right in the middle of the table or try and get something on that left cross.
Well, Roger's been going down the rails on all his shots. I don't think he's stuck anything in the center of the board yet, but it's neat, you know.
Yeah, nor has he shot that left cross at all. It looks like Billy's going to go right up the center.
He's going towards that left.
Yeah, he's had a little bit of success lagging into that spot and having to swing back out.
Not hard enough. All he can do is hope that Roger comes up short or goes off here.
Yeah, I would be stunned if he came up short. Well, I was almost stunned.
Yeah. Well, looks like we're going to go to game 3 here.
Yeah, we will go to game 3, but, you know, we've been watching the pros do it, and they make it look so easy. But we would like to go and show you the basics of this game, do a little tutorial, and to do that.
Actually, if we could swing over to board 7, they're at 12-12 there. You get a good opportunity to catch perhaps the last frame of that Division 3. I understand that, but I'm just saying maybe instead of going to the tutorial, we should go to the last frame.
Oh, okay. We worked this out like 10 minutes ago. That was all. Sorry. I get it.
I thought we were going to swing over the other games when the opportunity presented. Okay.
How to play table shuffleboard. First, players will flip a coin to see who starts off with the hammer, which is the last weight shot in a frame. Then they will alternate shots, one player being red, the other having blue. The frame ends after all 8 weights have been thrown. Now let's count some points. The only weights that score in a frame are those of the same color that are past the opponent's deepest weight. In order for a weight to count, it must pass the short foul line, which is 6 feet from the shooting end. For a weight to count as a 2 or a 3, it must be 100% in the score zone. If it is touching the line, it will be called as the lesser value. Any weight hanging off the end of the board is worth an impressive 4 points. This is how you check for a hanger. At the end of a frame, whoever scored will shoot first in the next frame, and if nobody scored, the hammer still switches. Have fun!
like Roger has won the all-important coin flip and has the first hammer.
Yep, game 3 about to get underway, and the championship on the line.
Yep, and of course if Roger wins this game, the tournament's over. If Billy wins it, we go to a sudden death match.
You know, we were talking earlier, John, about the prize money, and first prize a little over $7,000. Now, the money that Budweiser put in the tournament and came a little bit late, but $5,000, does that affect the prize money at all?
Well, actually, that money is distributed to basically the top half of the field, that and a contribution from the Sands. So the top half of the field all win $500 apiece.
Wow.
So that does have it does add another $500 to both first place and all of the other finishers that are in the top half of the field.
So we're talking $7,900 for first place and $4,100 for second place.
Yep, and I'm sure that first and foremost on Billy's mind is getting off to a good start this game after getting himself in the hole the last two.
Yeah, he started off giving up 4 the first game and 6 this game. He didn't want to give up any in the first frame.
Well, not the start that he was looking for there. I would expect him to play this straight up.
Yeah, third and final match. He's not going to go out aggressive. They got to stay in the game all the way. I think it's just going to go back and forth with legs, unless there's a really great opportunity.
There's been very little aggressive play out of either one of them, but none of it's been effective thus far. And just checking out the speed there, trying to figure out, trying to get dialed in so he can pop himself a good hammer to start the game.
That was a nice shot by Roger.
Yeah, Billy struggled over there the last time there was a weight on that side.
Shot it more firm, didn't take the drift.
Yeah, but still caught the weight kind of as if it was falling off the side. Billy struggled a little bit with his crosses. And this is a spot where Billy's really struggled. I'm not surprised that Roger's challenging him there early.
Looks like the board's a little bit slicker right now. Oh, nice shot. I thought when he let go, I thought when he let go of it, he shot it too soft.
Yeah, you said the board had sped up a little bit, but yeah, that
looked like it was dragging there at the end.
Well, good shot there, but also a good decision to challenge him over there because he hasn't stuck one yet. He's missed a couple of weights, so that's certainly where I would have gone with it.
Oh, I think it was a good shot by Roger testing him out on that shot.
Yeah, I got no problems with the strategy there. A little surprised he's not just playing weight for weight right out of the gate here. Of course, you know, he probably wanted to test his hammer out a little bit, but being down 3-0, you don't want to be lagging against two weights, that's for sure. He's going to try to make the combination here. And yep, great shot there. Getting himself out of any potential trouble. So, just what you would hope for, a chance to lag against a 1.
It's looking good.
Yeah.
Shallow
Yeah.
deuce, a deep deuce, deep deuce. Is it?
We've kind of expected this to be just a back and forth trading lags kind of match. Neither one of them has really played out that. Neither of the first 2 games has played out that way. I would expect this to be a pretty non-aggressive strategy on both parts. I think they're both just going to be hitting weights and lagging unless somebody happens to pop a couple in a row and gets out to some kind of substantial lead.
Well, basically, this is one game for all the marbles for Roger, and Billy needs the game to continue, so I expect the same thing.
And, even though obviously the person that's undefeated has a big advantage, history's kind of over the history that not only this tournament but most tournaments, the player that is in the losers bracket wins pretty close to 40% of the time. So it's if the person in the losers bracket wins the first match, they're at least a coin flip to win the next one.
Yeah, because the guy feels a lot more pressure,
Yeah, the dreaded reverse pressure of being in control and letting it slip away a little bit is definitely something that's difficult to contend with.
And nobody likes to get double dipped.
No, there's a little bit of a stigma about that. And sometimes it's easier on the guy coming out of the losers bracket. They have less pressure and they've built a little momentum because they've had to win several matches in a row to get to the finals.
Looks
We'll
like
see if he lags that towards the right rail and lets it swing into the center, which is what he did successfully a little bit last game. No, he's just going straight up the middle here. That's no 1. Boy.
That's going to cost him.
Wasn't particularly close.
He was thrown into that rail and it was dragging up a little bit, so he took a more straighter approach.
Yep, and early in the game, a little more speed straight up the middle.
Looks like they're both settled in on this game. As far as nerves go, it looks like they're both comfortable.
Yeah, I think that that both of them lag the opposite ends of where they have the hammer a little better. I think Billy lags this end a little better. Roger lags the other one a little better. But that's not where the hammer is currently situated.
Shallow deuce. Good shot.
Greatest shot in shuffleboard right there if you can do it when you want it. I think he would have preferred to stick that weight dead on. That's going to give Billy a chance to stick it and still have a shallow deuce.
If he sticks it, I think
Well,
it's going to be a
you
1.
need to slide it a little bit, but he has given him an opportunity.
Oh, yes. That was critical there. Almost a major mistake.
Yeah, you can't try and go for the slide and forget the primary goal, which is to make sure the weight goes off.
If you're watching this at home, it's always important to hit the weight first, stick second.
Well, back-to-back mistakes there, one apiece.
It's interesting listening to you gentlemen talk. I think this is the game that Roger has to win, especially when you pointed out, John, that 40% coming from the losers bracket win, because when Billy first came out, we were talking about the fact how much he talked about the importance of this tournament, winning it. I think the pressure will really be steeped up against Roger if they go a second match, because Billy knows then he's got a real chance at winning it. I think that's where the pressure will come.
Well, yeah, and it's that reverse pressure when you think that you're supposed to win, which, by all accounts you are if you're the undefeated player. And if you do lose the first match, there's certainly far more pressure on that person than the person that's coming out of the loser's bracket who's going to play a little looser.
Well, it looks like Roger's got his nerves under control this game.
Yeah, he's backed off on the speed a little bit. Still hitting him nice and firm, but Billy's still struggling on that cross.
Looks like he's struggling on both the left and the right.
Yeah, and certainly at this level, if they're not sticking a weight consistently, then that means they're having a little trouble there. You certainly expect them to hit it with no issues.
Well, he tried to test him again on that left. He threw off. Let's see if Billy comes back on that one.
I think Billy's probably going to check out his hammer after having lagged off last time. But nope, he's just going to protect his hammer. All right. Well, the fact that he didn't practice anything that frame in terms of speed, we'll see how he reacts here. Let's see if he goes back into throwing it more towards the rail. No, he's right up the middle again.
Looked like he backed off
last
a little
frame,
bit.
yeah, he definitely backed off of it a little bit. Yeah, got himself a nice solid deuce, it looks like.
Yep.
Well, stop by shuffleboard.com for all your shuffleboard needs, featuring shuffleboard tables, powder, weights, aluminum caps, weight cases, and apparel. Our company and products are based on the premise that quality and performance never are compromised. Elevate your game with Summit Shuffleboard.
All right, we're back to a nice conservative strategy as we both kind of expected this game to play out. Sure, Roger will be checking out his hammer there. See if we can get a feel for the speed.
Deep one.
Yeah, Billy made a nice adjustment after throwing his previous hammer off by a pretty big margin. We'll see if Roger can make the same adjustment.
Most people in this situation are going to protect their hammer. Let's see if he does it.
No, he's going to check out the speed a little bit. And again, we've got a cross shot there. We'll see how Billy reacts to this. All right. Just what you'd expect. Billy giving him a clean board to lag on. It's going pretty much up the same lane he did last time. Looks like he's backed off on his speed a little bit also. And lagged himself a 4.
Big leg.
Yeah, that's a momentum shifter.
Could be more dangerous on the table than you think.
Yeah, I tried to back up, almost fell over.
Well, anytime somebody lags a 4, it's a momentum shifter no matter what the score is. Those are just, you just really hate being on the receiving end of those. Whereas Billy had been really aggressive on those short weights yesterday when they played and bumped a few of them up, he's playing straight up right here. And Roger, of course, is going to try and get a weight up there in Billy's lagging spot if he can.
Yeah, that definitely looks like the board is floating a lot better.
Yeah, kind of surprised that he didn't keep that weight on. And it may be that he tried to, but he really hasn't had any lags from that end yet, so maybe it's a little faster than what he anticipated.
Well, the hammer's coming up right now.
Well, he answered with another deuce, maybe with three.
Tray.
Yeah, big three.
Great leg. Great pressure shot.
I think this is kind of what we expected both yesterday and today is both guys playing conservative with a lot of big lags. And after both games yesterday and today where there were big leads early, and this one is kind of just going back and forth, trading hammers.
Going to be a grind game, looks like.
With two guys that are pretty darn good grinders.
Absolutely.
Well, Billy's trying to figure out if he wants to try and challenge him to steal a hammer somewhere or just turn him loose on a clear board.
Well, the way Billy's legging that other end right now, even though he probably prefers this end, I probably wouldn't do it.
But if he feels like he can throw a small deuce up there, there's never a bad time for one of those. Nope, all he's doing is practicing a shot there.
Yeah, I'm going to let him go.
What I mean by practicing a shot there is that Billy was basically in his mind shooting an imaginary weight in that position. If he had to stick a three in that particular spot on the board, just checking out the speed to see if he in fact would have the right line to do so.
Roger just legged deep deuce, tie the game. Usually what happens when a guy legs a four, the very next time he gets the hammer, he backs off a little bit, usually is a one.
Yeah, because a lot of times those fours are ones that they feel like they let go a little too hard and it just happened to pull up.
He's testing out Billy's left again. This one came back a little bit more. It should be a little bit easier to stick.
All right. Well, they're both looking pretty comfortable over in that spot. This one's a little closer to the rail.
They both look really comfortable right now shooting.
Well, Billy probably just protecting his hammer here. Well, whatever jitters Roger had on that rail earlier in the match, he seems to have settled in and backed off the speed a little bit. Didn't expect any misses out of him to begin with. Looks like he's comfortable now, and I certainly wouldn't expect any misses going forward. Oh, looks like he pushed that one a little bit harder.
That's a critical mistake.
Well, a little harder.
Yeah. He needed to score there at least. He needed 1 point.
Yeah, he had to be on 9 there. 10 and 11 is a bonus, but yeah, that's a really big mistake.
Yeah, as we were talking earlier, there's 3 parts to this game. He'd have got on 9, it'd have been the second half of the game where, you got to be in control a little bit.
And Roger will check out the speed, keep practicing his hammer at any opportunity. And of course, the fact that Billy lagged off, Roger will be much more conscientious now of making sure that he gets on at least 9.
Yes. I still expect him to go for that deep 1 shallow deuce, which I thought that's what Billy would have done.
Yes, indeed. That's and Roger's continuing to test him over there on that left cross.
Nice stick by Billy.
A little surprised because that gives Roger a chance to lag against a 1.
Yeah, I was a little surprised too. I think he's just
Billy
trying to
could be
hit.
thinking that if Roger makes a mistake, he can steal and get on 9. That could also mean that he's just not very comfortable with that spot and didn't feel good about shooting hard at it.
Yeah.
Even though it's obvious Roger was hoping for a bigger lag, that's the key point that he took that Billy didn't, and that puts him at the advantage. Well, we'll see. Billy hits this or tries to just put one right behind it short, which is what it looks like he's going to do.
Well, I think he's
I think there was kind of an either-or shot. He's either going to get just barely past it or touch it just like that. Interesting that he didn't throw it short and protect his hammer a little more.
Well, here comes the hammer.
That's tough. He's had a couple of good lags and a couple of them have gone off. So,
I don't expect him to throw this one off.
well, I don't either. It'll be interesting to see if he takes the exact same track. It looks like he's lining up to do. No, he went over to the rail a little bit this time, hoping it'll swing in and pull up a little bit. No. Boy, back-to-back big mistakes. He's digging himself a huge hole here.
They were just talking like the game that the board's a lot faster.
Yep, I heard that.
Temperature plays a big part of speed. If it's warmer, it's going to be a little slower. If it's colder, it's going to be a little bit faster.
Yep, and it's pretty chilly in the room right now.
It looks like it's cooled down a little bit.
Well, that puts Roger firmly in control of the match. Provided he doesn't make any mistakes, Billy's going to have to do something special to climb back in. Even though he's only 1 point down, lagging off consecutive frames is really going to make him.
Well, it plays the mental part on you.
Yeah, it's
Right now, the best scenario would be that Roger only legs a 1 for Billy.
Yeah, that would be a gift to Billy at this point in time. It's going to be hard for him to be too aggressive with his lag the next time until he gets something to stay on the board. And I wouldn't be surprised if, even though he needs a 2 or a 3 next frame, if in fact he only ends up with a 1.
Well, does he put a shallow deuce up there and hopefully only 6 for 1, or does he throw
Oh,
it off?
I think he's definitely going to try and do that. No, but not if he's shooting off the rail. Yeah, he didn't want that.
Well, the board's 20 foot 8 inches long. He's got 12 inches to leg a deuce or a tray.
And it's a total green light for Roger. I expect this to be an aggressive lag.
Look at him slowing up.
Wow.
He came up short. That's a
That's
major
just
mistake.
Yeah, absolutely. You need to be either off or a 2 or a 3 to lag short there against a weight at that score. Just
Well,
that's a mistake that you don't expect to see at this level.
well, and now it changes the game too, because Billy legged off twice from that end, and this end might be a little slower. He might be able to leg this one better.
Yep, and now whoever can pop 2 3s first.
Well, Hudson Shuffleboards is a proud sponsor of the 2015 North American Shuffleboard Championships. Hudson Shuffleboards, quality shuffleboards at an unbeatable price. The full line of Hudson Shuffleboards are available at www.shuffleboardtables.com.
And Billy's just trying to get himself, get the speed figured out in case he ends up with the lag at that end again. So every chance he gets on a clear board, I expect him to try and throw a 2 or 3 up there.
Well, let's see if Billy's got this right rail figured out.
Yeah, he'd certainly like to try and slide this into the center of the table.
Which he did.
Which he did. Well, is he going to hit this real hard or maybe try and slide it over into that left cross corner and steal a hammer?
I don't think he's going to shoot hard because it dives off. That's what he wanted.
Yeah, look on his face says otherwise. Well, you certainly don't think that he would have wanted to stick it there, so I'm guessing that he wanted to try and slide it over to the left cross corner and hit it on the wrong side. Well, this is the first time Roger's had the hammer on that end in a while. Let's see what he does with it. And
After them two talking about after Billy legged off 2, I think Roger just backed off on that leg.
Yep. Yep, there was an accidental overring there that reset the score to 10-9, Rogers lead. Meantime, in the other divisions, Division 2 and 3 are both over with. And Division 1 is going to a sudden death match. Donnie Baxter from Oregon and Roland Valverde from San Antonio, Texas.
Oh, that was a major miss. Major
Yeah,
miss.
that's just hard to believe.
One thing about this game, everybody misses.
Yep, that's, Roger's one of the best weight hitters in the game, and really kind of expected him to be, real firm with that and not give himself any chance to miss it.
Well, he's
Well,
looking at
it's open, but
he's looking at whether to go for the combo or try to come around it with his thumb.
yeah. I'd personally try and pick it out, but of course that's a little risky if you do happen to miss it. Oh, great shot.
Great shot. Billy's going to cover it, I think, unless he's going around it. He is going around it.
Well, it's a nice shot. That's pretty tough for Roger to stick if in this situation or any situation, if you can lag with one working, that's as good as it gets.
Looks like he's going for the combo.
Yep.
Well, here's a big open opportunity for Billy to leg a deuce or tray here and take commanding lead.
And you can tell by Roger's reaction, he knows just how big of a mistake he made by giving Billy an opportunity to lag with one working. Whereas Billy needs to take advantage of it. Yeah, not really what he wanted. Roger got out of that okay. Billy's two lags away from going out. If Roger hits 12 here, he's only one lag away, so he can turn the advantage back to himself with just your garden variety deuce lag.
Well, he's looking at whether to pass that weight or just hit it. Looks like he's going to hit it.
Yeah, I don't think he would have passed it. He might have bumped it if he was going to be aggressive, but I don't see any. That would not have made any sense to me. What he really wants is the board to be clear and give himself the best opportunity to lag something.
Oh, I agree. But when he stopped and was looking at it, that's what it kind of looked like. There's his pass shot. Oh. It's not what he wanted.
Yeah, and very surprising that Billy's one of the best short weight players in the game. Yeah, very nicely done. But as solid as his short game play is, I would really expect him to stick this weight. He's probably going to shoot it nice and soft and either just touch it off or just go by it. Oh, I was wrong. Terrific shot. That's a potential game saver.
Yeah, Roger definitely does not want to leg off here.
Yep, as important as 12 is in this game, that certainly forced him to be a little less aggressive. The lag off there would let Billy on 12 and put him one lag out, so.
Well, the first one to score 4 is going to win this one. Game to 4.
Yep, and they're both thinking the same thing, lag 2 deuces or figure out a way to steal a point and lag with one working. Boy, that's well, Billy wasn't even tempted. Now Billy's thinking if he can stick this weight and Roger doesn't, then he can throw a short one and protect his hammer.
With a score 11-11, John, and Billy's hammer, what would you do on your last weight? My strategy here is contrary to, perhaps what a lot of people believe, but if I could get a huge 1 or a small 2 up in his lagging spot, I always love the opportunity if I can steal that 12th point to do so. I agree
But
with you.
it's obviously risky. It does allow the guy to turn it loose a little, frees up his stroke a little bit, but it's a bit of a gamble, but if it pays off, it puts you in a great position to win.
It's
Oh,
down to deep 4. Billy to
Boy.
stick for a 3.
And he was looking for a shallow deuce or even maybe a medium deuce. Certainly didn't want to give Billy this opportunity. Looks like he's all over it.
Oh, I think he slowed it to a 4. I think
That's
that's
gonna be
game.
close.
It's going to be interesting when they take a look.
That's game.
Wow.
Game.
Huge,
Awesome
huge.
shot.
Wow.
So,
Great shot and a mental mistake. Taking advantage of a mental mistake.
we will have these two matching up for the championship up next.
Yep. I imagine we're going to break here for about 5 and perhaps capture a little of the action on board 7 if the cameras are in the right position, and I'll find out where we're headed for the final match.
Okay, well, don't go anywhere. We've got a championship coming up. we are back to the Sands Regency Hotel Casino, and we've got the championship. The two guys you just saw, Roger Holloway and Billy Don Melton II, going at it for the championship. They've moved over a table. They're on table 12 right now. And, David, I didn't see them warm up an awful lot to get the feel of this table.
Well, they're warming up right now. They're both throwing 4 weights on each end.
Okay, then they haven't quite started now. Now they're in the warm-up period.
Correct.
And yesterday when we were doing these matches, I think this was the quicker of the two tables. 11 and 12 seemed to be the two fastest tables in the room. And I thought this one, the game that we did anyway, it looked like it was the quicker table.
Board 12 is the fastest table in this room right now. Billy's taking his warm-up shot, so it looks like Billy's shooting first on his warm-up, so he has the hammer the first game.
And after they switched between game 1 and 2, they flipped a coin to decide who would be which color, and Billy's going to come up blue, and Roger will be red, of course.
The board seems to be tracking pretty good. I mean, floating pretty good, so this is going to be whoever has the best feel.
I asked him between matches, I said, we saw you flash the 4. And he had a big smile, and he kept laughing. He said, well, you know, I've done that more than a few times. I said, I bet you have. He said, oh, yeah. So I told him, if he goes and heads wins his championship, the nickname being Billy, we're going to put another moniker on him. We're going to call him Babe because he called the shot. So it'll be Billy Babe Melton next time.
Well, they're both great players, and wish best of luck to both of them. May the best man win.
Yeah, absolutely. And we talked about it before. Billy looking to try to win this championship for the first time, and Roger trying to do it once again. And, you know, when it comes down to best 2 out of 3, everything else they played yesterday and last night, that's all over. Shake of hands, and they're ready to go.
All right, it's first way to the finals.
One match for all the marbles. And obviously there's a big difference in prize money between first and second, but this is a prestige event. The money is, I can't say it's secondary, but it's almost secondary.
I picked up my sheet, John, when you said that. You said the marbles. The marbles are certainly important, but the money, top prize, almost $8,000.
Yes, indeed.
Well, Billy's coming on aggressive with his hammer.
Interesting. Certainly didn't have nearly the float that we saw in the last game. I don't know if there's a big difference in speed between these two boards.
Well, when they were practicing, this board looked pretty quick. I think this board's a little bit faster than the last one they were on. It's usually the fastest board in the house. It has been this week. Billy's going aggressive again.
Well, aggressive but wide open. Well, big shot here, of course.
Oh, he missed it.
Wow, that was not very close.
No, he had a good opportunity there and come up short. And
for the third time in 4 games. He's got himself in a hole right out of the gate with the hammer.
Nice slide.
Yep, I don't know if Bill Melton is playing. I don't see him right here behind us, but if he is watching this, he's thinking to himself, that's not the way I taught you, boy.
Roger came out a little bit different this game. He's going crosses instead of down the rails.
And is that because you think the board is more conducive to crosses, or maybe that he wasn't really quite in stroke as well as he would have liked?
I think he wasn't in stroke. I think if he's going crosses right now, I think he's more comfortable. Obviously, he's testing Billy's left. Billy's all over that one. Nice slide.
Yeah, I haven't really watched any games on board 12, so I'm not sure how those rails are where they get deep. They don't look quite as touchy as they did on the board they just came off of.
This right hand cross here is very touchy. If he comes up a little light, it's going to come in, and if he shoots it too hard, it's going to dump.
Oh, nice medium speed
Starting
there.
to come back. Nice shot.
All right, and ties the game up. Yep, and there he is just practicing the shot that he missed last time. Get a little better feel of how much it curves.
That shot.
And while he's practicing it, he also happens to throw a 4 up there.
That last shot he shot it, that it hangs, stays straight over there. It doesn't come back. He just didn't get it over the last time.
Well, Home Topic Realty in Houston, Texas proudly sponsors our telecast. If you want an advantage in the Houston, Texas real estate market, don't hesitate to call or contact Home Topic Realty. Visit them on the web at hometopicrealty.com.
Yeah, looks like Roger's continuing to try and check out the speed there. Not sure that Billy wanted to stick that based on the speed that he shot it. But it does happen to be in the spot where Roger just practiced, so we'll see how it turns out.
Well, it looks like Roger's debating on whether to go around it or not. It's not his hammer. He is going to go around it. No, it is Roger's hammer.
Well, that looks pretty firm. Well, I would expect Billy to try the exact same shot, try and put it in there and put some pressure on Roger early in the game.
I think he has to go the other side. He's going for the
He's
bump
trying to
up.
bump it. Ooh. Looks like he's all over it. And that's one of the reasons why Bill Melton is not a big fan of bumping weights. If you don't make a perfect shot, you let your opponent off the hook. If you try and pass it and make a bad pass shot, you generally at least got half the weight hidden. If you make a bad bump, the weight's wide open.
Yeah.
Roger won yesterday. That wasn't match one.
Yeah, Billy won the first match of today, so we're going into the rubber match, which is the finals, is the championship. It's the best 2 out of 3. Whoever wins is going to be the North American Shuffleboard Championship for 2015.
So yes, as Billy tries for his first, Roger tries to become the 5th player with more than one title.
Which is hard to do. There's only 2 players that have done it 6 times, which is an incredible achievement.
It really is that the 2 players account for almost half the total wins in the history of the tournament. And we have 2 other players, Kelly Cameron and Dan Hitt, with 2 wins each. And 9 players with a single title.
Nice stick.
Yep, didn't take any time with that.
Billy's going
Billy's
for the
looking
leg.
pretty comfortable right now. I'm certainly expect that this is going to be an aggressive stroke.
It's looking good.
Ties the game up 4 apiece.
That's a nice solid leg. Looks like they're both kind of settled in a little bit. Looks like Billy's really comfortable with the stroke.
Not really where you want to put your first weight when you don't have the hammer. It looks like Roger's going to go in there.
Looks a little hot. Oh.
Yeah, it didn't really look like it was coming back anyway, even had the speed been right. So maybe that there's not really a good go around there. Could also be we're about to find out.
Is he going for the
He's
tap
going for
up?
the bump up again.
Well, doing
good
that
thing
doesn't
that,
really
yeah.
give him a pass shot either now.
Yep. All right, just going to try and take up some board. Roger's just going to hit this weight.
How many years now, John, have this tournament been going on?
This is number 26. And the last 25 at the Sands.
And
1 year in Vegas, it really wasn't the right fit for us. And the Sands, it would have been, I couldn't have gone to the drawing board and dreamed up a better partner than they have been for this event.
that's a great place to play. So we looking forward to another 10, 20 years?
I hope I'm around for at least that many. We are signed on here through 2020, and recent history continues. By the time we get to 2018, we'll be talking about extending it another 3 or 4 or 5 years. Meanwhile, in recognition of the terrific partners that they have been for the event, we'll be honoring the owner of the Sands, Ferenc Zoni, on Friday night with the Saul Lipkin Award, the highest award issued by the Shuffleboard Federation. Be one of the very rare situations where we've actually have dual winners, the other being Gordy Smith, who's been the primary goodwill ambassador between the players in the U.S. and Canada, and he's pretty much responsible for the large number of Canadians that attend this tournament every year.
Well deserved.
Gordy's also the owner of Eagle Shuffleboard, which made all of these scoreboards for us, and an integral part of the NASC staff.
Well, we're back to action here, and Billy throws a right cross, tight against the rail. Nice shot.
Yeah, most players would shoot at that right cross, as you alluded to previously. Roger's a terrific span shooter down the rails, but he really has struggled a little bit.
I was surprised with that shot because that shot, it's such a touch shot on that rail because if you go hold it too tight, it's going to dump, and if you come off it like you did, it's going to bend in. I would have shot that right-handed.
Yeah, me too. Well, gets himself not out of trouble, but
I think this is a hammer coming up.
yep. looks like good speed.
Come up a
No,
little
just
short.
a little short.
2 points
But,
there is big.
Yep. Happy to be on 6.
Yeah,
Obviously,
like-
he would have liked more, but it was that 3, 6, 9, 12, 15.
How long you been playing this game, John?
Since 1976. Haven't played much here over the years. I tried it last year in honor of the 25th anniversary, and it was a quick exit and an ugly performance. I came to the conclusion a long time ago, if I try and play here, I end up doing 2 things mediocre, running a mediocre tournament and playing poorly. So the focus has been just trying to provide the best possible experience for the players and to build it into the event that it's become.
I'll tell you what. To me, this is one of the most addictive sports that there is. It's so much fun, and there's so much strategy.
Yeah, but it is interesting because my primary business is selling shuffleboard tables. Most of that's in the residential market, and so many of my customers over the years are people that bought a shuffleboard table shortly after playing the game for the first time. They're on vacation somewhere and just played it, and then a lot of times they don't even know how to keep score, but it just gets in their blood right away. As you said, it's a very addicting game. And not unusual to see in a bar situation where people that are not experienced players get up on a table and they'll stay there till they kick them out and tell them that's it, last call, you got to go home.
Well, Roger just legged a deuce, tied it up, 6-6.
Yeah, with both players having gotten that first match of the day under their belt, I'm expecting a knockdown drag out for the title here.
Yeah, I think they're warmed up and the jitters are pretty much out, even though this is very critical games.
Yeah, the first match of the day, regardless of how long you've been playing or your experience level, players are often not quite as loose and not necessarily in stroke. I'm expecting less mistakes than we saw out of the previous match.
Nice smooth stroke. Nice stick.
Yeah, I'd tell by the speed that he's shooting the weights that he's pretty comfortable. Those are all shot stick speed. And Roger doesn't seem to have any problem shooting that shot right cross, which makes it again a little more puzzling that he elected to go with the span shot down the rail last time. I would think he'll probably be shooting that shot right cross for the duration of the match.
Looks like he's no, he's going back to the left. I thought maybe he'd try to shoot a right cross to see where it went.
Yeah. Ultimately, though, the one shot that Billy has struggled with over the course of the matches has been the left cross. So
It could have been just that board too. I'm not sure.
Absolutely could be, but I would certainly expect Roger to try and get the left cross figured out and challenge Billy if an opportunity or the need to challenge him comes up.
I think Roger tried to put a deep deuce in there, or a shallow deuce in there for Billy
Of
to
course,
stick.
Billy's been shooting into that rail and letting it swing back. He may have tried to block that lane, but yep,
Another solid deuce.
solid deuce. And I think with where we are in the match right now, whoever has the lead is probably going to be playing short weights. In this case, it happens to be Billy.
Keep him off the leg, keep him off a feel.
And most importantly, stay out of trouble.
The short game is such a critical part of the game too.
Yep, so many ways to use that strategy.
Well, it controls the game, and it also stops the other person from getting the feel.
Yep, absolutely, and I don't think that any player, regardless of how proficient they are, really enjoys playing it. It's the kind of thing that if you play it long enough, you can sometimes get a mistake out of your opponent just because they're sick of it.
It looks a little hot.
Ooh. Not much. Not much hot. It almost looked like it was going to pull up there right at the end.
It's what I call an iffy. If it stops, it's a 4. If not, it's off. Well, he's wanting him to stick.
Billy feels good. Yep.
Ooh.
Ooh. Well, he didn't want to stick, and he certainly didn't. And of course, I say that he didn't want to stick. That's based on the speed that he threw it.
Do you think Roger's going to try and go around it here since he threw off? Start playing a little aggressive because he might think that he's at a
wouldn't
disadvantage?
think so. I certainly wouldn't. You're still only one lag down, but it looks like he's going to go ahead and try and go in there.
When you start putting them weights in the middle, that's what I thought he was trying to do.
I was like, the game can get away from you in a hurry if this backfires.
I think he's being a little bit, maybe a little impatient.
A little premature, yeah, a little impatient there. Curious to see whether Billy tries to bump this or sticks the red one. Well, not an overly difficult combination for Roger. I would expect him to just bail out here and let Billy lag on a clear board. It looks like what he's going to do.
Exactly what he did. Billy cannot leg off here. He needs to score.
No, and he made this mistake on the other game, lagging off at 8. He certainly wants to score here and be the first guy on 9.
I always say shoot for a deep 1, shallow deuce in this situation. And he got a deep 1, which puts him in 1 full hammer control.
Yeah, which reminds me of our old friend Billy Mays, who had that, one of his favorite expressions, the scared deuce. You throw the big one and hope it somehow just skids in that extra few inches and you make 2 out of it.
Yeah, we just lost. He was a great player. We lost him this last couple months ago. And
it looked like Roger tried to bump that weight up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I learned an awful lot from Billy. Billy went back to the short game, tried to control it.
Yeah, I would expect Billy to play short anytime he has the lead at this point in time.
Absolutely.
Roger just needs to be patient. He's a great lagger. You don't want to press it. Really surprised at that decision.
I think he tried to put it over there tight on the rail because he had that short weight there to help to block the right
but
cross.
Billy's solid enough. He's got the span shot or cross. There's any number of ways he could have stuck that. You damn sure don't want to be lagging against 2. Absolutely critical that he scores here. And looks like a pretty good speed. Lagged himself a
solid
2. Big shot.
Billy taking that one last frame was big. He still has a 1-point lead with a hammer. Still keep a 1 hammer control. Board's floating good.
Yep. Well, I would expect Billy here to just throw a short weight here and protect his hammer.
Trying to pin it on that rail.
Yeah, good point because he did get a miss out of there earlier.
Roger shot that one down the rail jersey instead of a thumb shot like he normally does.
This is Bill Melton Sr. Might want to pan the camera in between frames. All right. Here we go. Sure, Billy's looking to throw himself a big 2 or probably a 3 here if he can.
He pushed that one.
He doesn't want it to go off, that's for sure.
He pushed that one.
Oh. And ties up the game. Kind of a big mistake. Hey, Bill.
We got Bill Melton here.
Indeed we do. The great Bill Melton standing to my left, watching his son Billy try and win his first championship here at the North American Championships.
And Bill's one of the 2 players that only won it 6 times.
Yes, indeed.
And I say only 6, which is a great accomplishment.
Right now, he looks a lot more serious than the younger Melton.
Sure we know who you're rooting for, Bill.
Stick and slide, no.
Well, that's a
That rail's
pretty
gonna dump.
aggressive stroke there. Yeah, it didn't look good when he let it go.
If you hit them too early, they're going to dump. If you'd have hit it farther down the rail, I don't think it would have dumped.
Looked a little uncharacteristically jerky on his stroke, which don't usually see out of Billy.
Well, is he going to
No,
play this
yeah.
aggressive, or is he going to turn around and knock it off? He's kind of studying it. He might look like he's going to play it aggressive. Nope, he's going to.
Well, if he shoots a free hand, we know that he's going in behind it.
Right. I think if he goes freehand, he's got to go on the left-hand side of it because the right hand stays flat.
What do you think, Bill? Would you be passing this weight at this score? I don't know if you caught that or not on the audio, but yeah, Bill says, Bill Melton Sr., a great many-time champion, said I wouldn't be passing the weight anywhere at this score.
That's going to stay flat.
Yeah, that's the. Yeah, and you certainly don't want to be lagging against 2 at 9-9. That's exactly what he's got himself into now.
Looks like good speed. Better slow
That's
down.
no 1.
Great leg. Great
Yeah,
leg.
looks like got in there for a 3.
Yep. Roger's got 2 hammers to go out. Billy's got 1 potentially.
Possible to get a little more volume on my mic that we can catch some of Bill Senior's comments. Well, I'm glad I didn't have to make that shot lagging against 2 weights at that score. Good. That's the kind of thing that'll shorten up your stroke a little bit.
Well, they're playing the short game here, stick for stick.
Well, I understand that you and Billy did a lot of practicing before the tournament. I understand that you and Billy did a lot of practicing before the tournament this year. No way. Well, he told us he'd been practicing with you.
Roger pins one on the deep right
Well, he's
corner.
looked pretty comfortable all week. Well, he's we all made the comment that he's more focused than we've ever seen him at this tournament.
Roger looks like he's going for his leg.
Yeah, I'm expecting this to be very deep or off. He's certainly not going to back off on it.
Solid deuce.
Yeah, I'm sure he wanted the 3 there, but he's giving himself a chance. If Billy doesn't lag out, then Roger's got to be thinking back-to-back deuces, and maybe he gets it done. There aren't many sure things in life, but I'm pretty sure that Billy is not going to pass any weights this frame.
I wouldn't
Nope.
think so. Roger might
Nope.
know.
Yeah, Roger might, and I don't think Billy wanted to stick that weight. Now, shooting a span shot usually means he's shooting at the weight.
No, he's trying to go around it. Looks a little
Must
hot. Do you take
Yeah,
the
it's
chance
not-
of going in now, or do you turn around and cover it short?
Oh, I
Block
definitely
that
wouldn't. I definitely wouldn't cover it short and just leave himself, leave Roger, more opportunities and more angles. I think he either has to try and go in there. Well, you called it. I'm not sure if I like it or not, but
Rob 49, they need you.
I can tell by the way Billy's looking at that weight, it didn't end up right where he wanted it to.
I think he went a little deeper.
The way he's looking at it, I think he's thinking that Roger might try and go in between those weights, right cross.
He's studying it pretty hard.
Yeah, I think he got it over a little further left than what he
No,
wanted.
he went for the stick.
Yeah, that's a good shot.
Smart shot.
Yeah, ultimately not a bad strategy if Roger can force him to stick for 2. I mean, obviously better if you can hold him to 1 point, but most important thing, obviously, is to make sure Roger doesn't have a chance to go out, or Billy does not have a chance to go out. Oh, didn't want. That's. Yep, the look on his face says it all.
Well, he's definitely got to
He's-
keep this on,
He's fully expecting Billy to go out,
as he should.
as he should.
Looks pretty good. Looks a little hot. Better slow down.
No, that's right in there.
No.
He actually needs to get up a little.
Well,
Well, you would like to have gone out there, but well, you darn sure can't lag off.
No.
Billy needs to throw this first one off and just keep the board clean and let Roger do whatever leg he's going to do. But Roger can leg a 4 and still win.
Yep, and meanwhile over on board 1, we're in right down to the last couple of points in the game, 19-20. In that division, it's a 21-point game if it goes a second round. So Roland is thinking about this real hard.
Billy stuck a
Oh.
weight that he didn't want to stick. Gives
Yep.
Roger an opportunity to go around it left-handed. He's got to take his time here. It's a very critical shot.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be overly deep. He just needs to get in there where Billy can't hit it and give himself a chance to lag a 3.
Oh, it dumped. It dumped.
Boy,
Hit it too early.
critical mistake.
Well, do you block the board up here? looks like what he's
Boy,
going to do.
I darn sure would. I'd try and put it dead even with that blue weight right in between that and the rail. Pretty much right where that is. It's a hair deep. Been a little shallower. He'd have cut off some more board, but I think we'd all like to be in that position right there.
Dumping, yep. Well, Billy just won the first one.
Kind of an unexpected ending there after such a tight game.
Well, Roger's been like freehand every game we've been watching, and that's the first time he's really had to go right cross.
Good point. Good point.
So the players will take a couple minutes break and come back with more of our championship match. A chance to remind you that every pro and most rated amateurs play with Pro Series shuffleboard weights. Each set of weights is hand polished and tested for continuity of speed. Satisfaction guaranteed. Order your set today at www.shuffleboardtables.com.
Meanwhile, on board 7, this is a chance to win the tournament. Lag a 2, take the title, and looks like he did. And our Division I singles champion, Roland Valverde from San Antonio, Texas.
It looks like a very shallow deuce from here.
Very shallow deuce and a very happy guy.
He's a great guy.
That's the one we all dream about, a chance to lag a 2 to win a championship.
Game 2 just starting. Roger's hammer. Billy throws a short weight. Looks like he's going to test his leg out right away. Looks like he's going to come out aggressive.
Mitch, you got to be careful when you're down a game that you certainly don't want to get off to a poor start, end up lagging against 2, and perhaps lag off and give you the opponent some early momentum.
Well, you kind of just feel it, that the momentum has shifted.
Yeah, absolutely. Which makes it, if were I in Roger's shoes, I would consider it absolutely critical to score anything in the first frame. 2 or 3 would be great, but
stay in the game.
Absolutely stay in the game. Again, with as strong as Billy's short game is, if he sticks this, you put yourself in a position where right first frame right out of the gate, you're lagging against 2. Well, as it turns out, green light to try and find the end of the board. That's a good aggressive stroke. And starts himself off with a 3, exactly what he needed.
Hey, John, you talked about going to Winston-Salem, Oregon. When you're up that way, why not go to Rivers Inn Sports Bar on Highway 101? That's in Harbor, Oregon, featuring 3 tournament-quality shuffleboard tables, great food, and 8 premier taps. You're guaranteed to have a good time, so you make it 2 in 1.
2 for 1. Boy, you got to like that. It's almost like happy hour.
Well, at the beginning of the game, they're both playing short. Try to keep the other person from getting a feel for the end of the board.
I got it. And interesting decision.
Put a deep deuce, maybe shallow 3 in there. Looked like a deep deuce.
Of course, he's watching very closely, Roger, that is, to see how Billy shoots that. All right, well, Roger maintains the lead. I'm not sure that he wanted to go that deep, but no real harm done. He maintains control of the game at the early stages with hammer coming. And Billy's going to try and get the speed figured out from this other end. Well, I can't believe that he would want to do that.
Oh, got a little mush shot there.
Yeah, but he didn't even consider passing it, so that's probably a good thing. Means he's got his aggressiveness under control, and he's not going to get himself in an early situation lagging against a couple of weights.
After that last 3 that he legged, he might be feeling a little comfortable with his leg. Nice stick.
Of course, there's always that fine line between comfortable and over-comfortable / too confident.
Mm-hmm. They're both stroking with confidence right now.
Yep, and even though the pressure has shifted to being on Roger, he looks...
Oh, that's a critical mistake.
I was about to say he looks relaxed and confident, even though the pressure's kind of on him at this point in time. Well, obviously this could be a game changer right here.
He's got to go deep enough, but not too deep. He's got to be able to cover that weight, which is the hardest weight to do. That's a good shot.
Well, ultimately, you'd much rather be too close and give the person the combination rather than be a little short and the guy goes in and sticks it. Put yourself in a position where maybe you miss it back and all of a sudden you give up a big frame where you had an advantage. That's too soft. Going to run into the back weight.
Oh. That's critical.
Yeah, that just needed a little more speed. It would have been okay.
I think that's a 4.
Yep.
Well, let's see how jittery he is now.
Yeah, even though Roger has won this tournament before and Billy hasn't, Billy has so much more experience that you wonder if that's going to become a factor as the rest of this match proceeds.
Well, I said it was a match between the technician and the master.
That's a great statement. And Roger elects to take a big gamble here. He did bump that weight on purpose. He's going to try and somehow get enough weights on the board to make a big frame for himself. Billy's not going to give him the opportunity.
A lot of players, lower division, would have covered that weight.
Yeah, and of course the danger of covering the weight is if you don't cover it perfect and the guy goes in there and sticks it, he can get you in a lot of trouble. He's going to back this up.
He tried to.
Yeah, what we meant there is that looked like Roger attempted to what we call back up or freeze up or set up on the weight, where he puts it right up, touching the weight, and forces Billy to cover it. And if he doesn't cover it perfect, Roger gets a chance to stick and have 2 threes or a 2 and a 3 working.
I personally think that might have been a little bit aggressive at this stage of the game with only a leg down.
I think so too, but it's sometimes you just feel like you got to do something to stem the tide. And interesting that the 2 guys that have won the most here, Bill Melton and Darrell, are both exceedingly patient. And it is a patient man's game. That's something that sometimes takes a number of years to acquire that skill. It's not generally something that younger players, it doesn't generally come naturally to younger players.
The younger players today play way more aggressive than the players that have played a long time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Another
That's
great
a great recovery there.
I think they need to find, I think there needs to be a happy medium between aggressive and.
Yeah, selectively aggressive as opposed to just wide open.
Right.
But a great shot there by Roger last frame. Had he lagged off there, he would have been in real serious trouble. I can't imagine with the way the momentum sits right now, had he gone down 8-3.
He would have been in full gambling mode.
Yeah, absolutely.
Looks like a
And
shallow
more often
deuce.
than not, when either one of these players has made an aggressive move, it's generally backfired. Well, Roger's going to hit this hard because it's a little too shallow. If he sticks it, it's just going to be an ace, and he doesn't really want that.
Unless he drives it.
Yep. Looks like he drove that into a deuce. Hard to say from down here at that camera angle, but
He's looking it over close to see if it's a deuce or a 1. Looks like it could go either way.
yeah, that's a tough predicament when it's close enough that it's going to require a call from the officials. Obviously, if he knows it's a 2, he's going to shoot at it. But if it's a coin flip, he may have to shoot at it anyway.
This looks like what he's doing.
Yep. Roger forced him into a conservative play there.
Well, at this junction, if it was iffy and he didn't know either way, that was a smart move.
Yep.
But there's other players out there that go, you know what, I can outleg that, I'm going to do it. And they either will or won't, but most of the time it's going to cost them. I think he shot the right shot.
Yeah, if you're not 100% sure that that's a 1, you really can't afford to just try and outlag it. Of course, in a cash game, you wouldn't think twice about it.
Right, you'd have legged.
And looks like Roger's just working on practicing his lag at every opportunity now.
Well, he definitely doesn't want to come up short.
Yeah, Billy would love to have slid that weight over to the rail there for a deuce. But he'll just hit this hard and turn Roger loose and see what happens. Well, no, he actually tried to slide it out into the middle and cover up some of Roger's lag.
You know, when a guy wants to leg all the time freehand up the middle, you want to try to block that middle up as possible and force him to go to the rails. Got it in there. Shallow deuce.
Yep, and again, practicing the speed of the board.
Well, if you had to bet on this game, do you think it's going to go? You think it'll go 3 games?
Oh, you put me on the spot there a little bit. Gonna let you know after this frame.
I was going to say, let me know in a couple of frames.
I think if Billy lags a deuce or better, that he'll go on to win this game. He lags a 1 or Roger steals a hammer or Billy lags off. Ben, I think we got a good chance of seeing a game 3. This is a really critical frame.
Splitting the line for a 1.
Yeah. Billy's not thinking about anything except just giving himself a clean board to lag on. Yeah, he didn't want to stick that weight. Conversely, I would expect Roger to try and stick this weight or maybe move it up a little bit. Nope. A little surprising. I would have personally tried to stick that and roll it over into maybe a shallow deuce. Yeah, looks like a solid 2 or maybe even a 3.
Looks like a 3. That was a great leg, critical time.
All right, well, you put me on the spot with a prediction.
What do you say now?
Well, I said if he lags a 2 or better, I think he's going to go on to win the game.
He just looks real comfortable to me. Looks focused. Roger's now looking like he's going in gambling mode.
Yeah, you know, Roger looked like when the first game of this second match started, like he was pressing a little bit, but he looks kind of relaxed right now and focused. You know, he's had quite a few opportunities to practice his lag now, so yeah, I think his best play is to keep the board clear and make sure he's not lagging against 2 weights.
Looks like he's trying to warm up his hands over there.
Well, it is a little chilly from here, and he is from South Texas, so.
Looks like Billy's trying to block up that middle.
See, Roger has lagged very few weights crossboard. Well, he did get himself on 9, which is a critical number, but yeah, as you can see by the look on his face, he really wanted and needed the deuce there.
Roger's hoping that.
Yep, he's looking for Billy to stick that weight, and if he does, good chance that Roger's going to pass it. Billy, of course, knows that.
Sometimes, even though we want to knock him off, we'll stick him, and we will give him that opportunity, which is unfortunate.
Yep. That one, it looked like he was trying to stick on purpose, or perhaps roll over to the rail, but he took some speed off of it. Didn't look like he was just trying to clear the board. Now that's got to be a little tempting because it's shallow enough that Billy's thinking if he does go in there, it won't be. If he goes in there deep, it'll be open. If he goes in there a little shallower, Billy could pass them both, but ultimately, you're ahead 10-9 with the hammer. You don't need any of that.
Well, if it was Daryl and Bill playing, I guarantee you they'd be just knocking weights off and going for the leg. That's how they won many, 12 championships between them. That's Bill Melton and Daryl Nelson.
Yeah, little shallow there, but he obviously knew the importance of not lagging off there.
Well, this is big.
And,
This could be a big leg for
Yeah,
Roger coming
absolutely.
up.
They're both 2 lags from going out.
Roger gets a 3 here.
Yep, the advantage swings to him far more than just the 1 point might indicate. Always tough to lag at that score, 10-9.
Mm-hmm.
2 puts you in a really commanding position, but if you lag off, you go from being a prohibitive favorite to an underdog.
All right, here we are.